The following portion of Fox 43 AM Live is sponsored by Tender Loving Care Pet Nursing Hotel.
Leslie with Tender Loving Care Pet Nursing Hotel is joining us for our latest edition of Everything Pets. And today we're tackling an issue that affects millions of pets, weight management. Did you know that more than 50% of dogs and cats in the U.S. are overweight? I didn't realize that. Well, Leslie, thank you for joining us with a little bit more information about this now, because I'm a little bit concerned.
Well, it's true. I mean, so a large portion of the human population is overweight. And so it kind of translates that our pets are. I know for Mimi and I, this past winter was so oozhy that a lot of times I just let her out in the back and we didn't go walking. So we have both gained weight. We both
It was so cold, yes.
Yeah,
you can't have them running around the house like crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about why is maintaining healthy weight so important for dogs and cats?
Well, it's important because my favorite reason that I tell my customers is it extends their life by at least 2 years, and sometimes more. Because when you're overweight, you have diseases like arthritis, you have diabetes, heart disease, things like that. And so if you contract those diseases, that means that, you know, there's medication, and sometimes, you know, you don't necessarily live as long. So it's important that we take care of our babies and make sure that they don't get overweight, because we want them to live long, healthy lives.
Yes, I want them here as long as possible.
Exactly.
And so how can pet owners tell if their dog or cat is overweight? Like, oh, he's just a cute little ball.
I know, they're big boned, right? So one of the key ways is, of course, you can look, right? After a while, you don't even see it, right? Because you look at them every day, they're precious, the eyes, the whole bit. But what you can do is you can actually run your hands over their body. And if you can feel their ribs, then they should be in pretty good shape. If not, then they've got a little bit too much fat on the bone.
Okay, good. Yeah, good to know. Feel the ribs, all right. And what are some common mistakes pet owners make while it comes to feeding? I think that's where one of the big problems is.
Yes, that's a big problem. So I brought a solution. I brought, you know, an example. So this is a cup of food, right? There's a line there. Always very helpful.
An actual cup, like an actual
cup, right? What people do is when the vet or somebody says, oh, feed your dog a cup of food, or they don't even look, they just scoop and put. There is a big difference between this and that. So, or, you know, so I suggest that, number one, look at the feeding guide on the panel of the pet food bag. I swear there is one, and it can tell you how many cups to feed your pet. And this way they stay healthy. The other thing is table scraps. I know, again, the eyes, they're so sweet. We love them.
Cute.
Food is love, and so we want to give them table scraps. But the fact of the matter is that human food is calorie dense. Consequently, they get fat when you do that. They need to eat their own food, you know. Secondarily, not going on walks. That keeps them fat. I mean, you know, my dog, Mimi, she will sniff forever, and so it takes a long time to take a walk. But they really need that. It helps to exercise. And at the same time, we exercise too. So we lose weight, they lose weight. It's a win-win.
Fantastic. So, no table scraps. What type of pet foods are best for weight management?
So if you go to the store, you'll see that there are tons of weight management foods out there. Just look for something that says weight control. It's out there from Purina, Hills, Blue Buffalo, whatever. They're all good. But the key thing is to recognize that there are different categorizations, right? There's puppy food. That's for when you're from 0 to 1. Then, believe it or not, the pet food companies say you're an adult from 1 to 6, and then you're a senior 7+.
Okay.
So make sure you're buying the right categorization of food, number one, and then secondarily, make sure you're buying weight control. And they also have weight control treats. The other, that's one of the things that can really help with bringing down the weight control, bringing down the weight, is feeding weight control treats limiting treats or using kibble as treats as opposed to table scraps or anything else that's out there.
Okay, yes, minimize the treats, kibble treats. Walking, I can assume, can help
Yes.
overweight pets lose weight. Anything else we should keep in mind to try to course correct our pets' weight management?
Well, you know, you can stop in at any time to your veterinarian or even TLC. We have one, is a scale. And you can weigh your pets so that you can know, because you don't know. You know, looking is difficult. Of course, you know, doing the body scan with your hands is important, but you can also go in any time and have your pet weighed so you know if they're losing weight. And really, it's important to the long life of your pet.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Any final thoughts on weight management, Leslie?
I think everyone should tell their friends to make sure that they're buying the right kind of pet food. Okay, puppy, adult, and senior. Those are key to know, because some people are not feeding the right amount. So when you become a senior, you need more caloric content, because older pets tend to start losing weight, or they don't get enough nutrition. So making sure that you're feeding the right categorization and making sure you're feeding a weight control food. You don't have to stay on a weight control food your whole life. Just get them to bring down the food, and then check the feeding guide on your dog food and make sure you're feeding the right amount. And geez Louise, if you're free feeding, which I am not a fan of, but if you are, make sure that you are using a cup and not this kind of thing.
A proper cup, not just a cup.
Not just scoop it and go.
Wonderful.
It's a problem.
Yes, remember everybody, a fit pet is a happy pet.
And a long life.
And a long life. Yes, Leslie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And everyone, to learn more about tender loving care, head on over to tlcpetnursinghotel.com.
The preceding portion of Fox 43 AM Live was sponsored by Tender Loving Care Pet Nursing Hotel.